I can check through the files. It'll show that. Okay. But anyway, Repo, the genetic opera. Enough about Crimes of the Future. Didn't particularly care for it.
No, it ended at the best part of the movie.
There was one other person in the entire theater. And it ends on the note where I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll check. Maybe I'll give it some more. Oh, it's done. Not how I felt watching this.
No, this
Watching this was a theme park. It was a roller coaster. It was.
Yeah. What are the themes? It actually was like an opera, man. It was tragic.
Mm-hmm.
That was a there's the mob boss dad who's like disappointed by his siblings, but you can see his kids. It's tragic. No, it actually really is tragic, and you can tell that the mob boss doesn't really care for any of his kids. The siblings are fighting with each other. The only one of his kids that actually has any motives or depth at all is just Paris Hilton's character, Amber Sweet, where she's not happy with herself, so she's constantly, it's like a reflection of Paris Hilton as a person at that time and how the media depicted her in general, right? Like she's like constantly messing with herself, and the media's attacking her for everything that she does, and she's partying, she's doing drugs.
First satire, a rich debutante who like gets her face like removed and replaced every time it starts to like sag and age, with the idea of like she has to maintain this image of herself. That's some solid satire.
Yeah, it definitely is that's why I feel like she probably did end up funding it, because she felt connected to that character that she played. And yeah, she's not a perfect character. She has a lot of flaws and stuff, but I really like her. I like that we just get to see her be vulnerable. She's like one of the only characters that we actually see her feel incomplete, and she has everything at her disposal, right? Like her dad owns this company that can save her, and she has power, and she can be on the front page of things, and she just wants to like be accepted. And we watched that, and it was sad, man. She's over here constantly like she's in these alleyways.
But she's going to need surgery. Surgery.
Addicted to the knife.
Addicted to the knife. Those songs are stuck in my head.
I think about them randomly.
Surgery.
By your genetics. I don't understand what the good song in that movie. I have no idea what they're doing. Where Marie, whatever, the girl with the cool eyes, she like shows Shiloh her mom, and it's like that song is a banger. We were listening to that, we're like, what? This is great. This is the first good song. Mm-hmm. This could have been on the radio. Yeah.
Was it like Tied by Your Genetics? That's like...
That was a different one, yeah.
Oh.
By your genetics. And then Joan Jett over here.
So let's talk about this world, this dark future, where people...
This could never happen.
Where the medical system is so corrupt.
What do you mean?
Because I had a surgery, so I'm a surgery. For me, I needed something removed, and then it was just like, yeah, this is the systems. I just remember that feeling where like when it was done, they were just like, all right, leave, and I was just like, they didn't like, they weren't like, oh, are you okay? Like get in the wheelchair. They're like, all right, you're done, get out. It's just like how like completely uninterested everyone was in the process.
It is really sad. The medical system has lost its warmth in general.
Well, let's talk about that. Because if we're going to talk about the history of the medical system, I think it has a pretty poor track record of being caring and empathetic towards anyone.
Whatever do you mean?
So
now maybe like us studying syphilis on black people and like refusing to treat them for many years.
So that's one.
Yeah, that's the Tuskegee experiment. The way that we treat minority women in birth and stuff, like their prenatal care is...
So that's two.
Yeah.
What they did to anyone who said, I'm not feeling quite myself today. And they'd be like, oh, we're going to just cut your brain open.
Lobotomies for women if they're hysterical.
which it's like, better watch out for you with how funny you are.
Oh, thank you.
Um, that's like crazy. It's like how
Thank
cops
you.
have the protect and serve thing. Like, it's only like one branch of them does. That's not like the cops don't have like a slogan. Like the firefighter slogan is, put out fires.
Yeah, like what's a firefighter gonna do? There has never been a big protest against firefighters. They're gonna use like too much water.
Yeah.
Cancel culture is gonna get them for like, oh my god.
Yeah, let it burn. We hate trees.
We're gonna take too much time to go get that cat out of that tree.
Yeah,
He asked for it.
The medical industry, they're like, oh, doctors have a do no harm, and it's like they do harm constantly.
Yeah, there was a guy who, and I'm ignorant on this. I didn't read the article, but he shot his doctor because allegedly, the doctor messed up on his surgery, and he was like, I'm in constant pain all the time. I'm just gonna go kill that doctor, and I'm like, that's not okay. What? I would be pretty upset. My sister.
Would you? Oh,
my sister got surgery on her nose for nose polyps. Surgery, and she was sneezing out plastic for a while because they just left some in there. Can you imagine that?
No.
Dude, sucks to suck.
Yeah, so you could, I mean, the idea that they would be like, yeah, we're going to hire someone to take your organs back. How far away from that are we? How far away from that were we before, the medical industry
like 20 years
really
ago.
revamped their image to be like, we're like Spider-Man. They were doing that. Like, who the real Spider-Man is? And I was like, Peter Parker. And they said, no, it's the lady that won't let you schedule an appointment.
Man.
That's the real.
That hurts, man.
The people that go like, you know what? I don't believe you. I remember remember that Spider-Man movie?
How much pain do you think you're in?
That movie, I think it was Far From Home, where someone goes like, help me, Spider-Man. And he goes, I don't believe you're in trouble. Anyway, off to save someone else.
That's not pain. That's pressure. That's what I had somebody tell me when I was in labor. I had a nurse tell me that's not pain, that's pressure. I'm like, well, it feels a little painful. And then we found out after I gave birth that the epidural didn't work on me at all. So I did feel everything. And I was like, well, dang, that kind of dragged.
That didn't slay.
No, zero. That was not the vibe.
So it's
Not
such,
mid.
it is a very good, because that story's been done a lot of times afterwards, which is like, what if they could take back your body, which is basically, what if you didn't have ownership of your body in this dark dystopia from the mad mind.
Yeah, what if you didn't get to make choices on your body?
And
One corporation owns like everything.
And what if the laws of the world were decided not by the will of the people, but by corporate owners?
Men, yeah.
Join us as we visit this dark future.
Dude, it was that was crazy when he's like, shoot your dad. Do it right now in front of everybody. I was like, well, why does she have to do all that? Like, don't you want to donate all your money to her because you think that she's a better person morally? And here you are trying to sink her down to your level. I think he could have benefited from therapy. Now, what's therapy like in this universe?
Well, in this universe, they do that thing where it's like, oh, I can't pay you for my therapy, so they start like
Roasting
they
them?
start roasting and gaslighting you.
You know,
And what's the Repo man of therapy, and he just like
all your friends hate you.
he just stalks you in the night and says like you are, everyone notices all your flaws and you are as bad as you think you are.
You smell bad. Somebody jokingly told my coworker last night that he smelled bad. And honestly, I've never seen this man more upset. So I feel like if a therapist was, right? Can you imagine?
I'm pretty comfortable with my body odor.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, because you don't believe in deodorant.
Well, it's not that I don't believe in it.
It exists, I promise you. You can buy it at the store.
It's that if you eat right, you don't need it.
I've worked in a warehouse with you, and you don't really smell. I'm really surprised by that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Someone I worked with at another warehouse told me I smell like vanilla.
You are vanilla.
No. Well, the second.
And Frank is caramel.
Okay. What's
Caramel.
Duncan?
What is Duncan? He feels like strawberry.
He's strawberry. He's a strawberry. Yeah.
Because it's a solid flavor. Most people like it. It's gonna be there. I know I like it.
And it's like, it's one of the only, like, fruit ice cream is not that common, you know? And it's like one of the three.
I love, you know what? He's ice cream, okay? Because he is he's the ice cream, the strawberry ice cream with like the chunks in it.
Okay.
That's the one that lands. It's like sophisticated.
Mm.
Science like figured this out.
I'm vanilla
Absolutely.
bean, but with olive oil and sea salt.
No.
Yep. It's confirmed.
Sea salt as in like table salt from my bar.
Yeah, I'm on a sea salt diet. When I see salt, I eat it.
So stupid. I think I just lost brain cells. Anyway,
So let's all right. So the story. Oh my god, I'm so close to the mic. The story is this sickly girl.
oh yeah, the story. We haven't even talked about this plot actually, huh?
She's locked away in her room because she can't leave for too long or she will fall ill. And
Just like her mother.
yes, her mother who died of a blood disease.
It was like a blood disease, yeah.
And she sneaks out and stumbles upon the grave robber, my second favorite character.
He was a character.
I think he had the best songs. Surgery.
Well, he's the narrator.
And he's he's just explaining it. And I like too, they don't exactly have a romance. You know, I feel like that's where that story would go.
Yeah, I mean, the only romance that they have, one of them is dead. It's the mom and whatever, Repo Man. So Repo Man, her dad is also the Repo Man.
So,
but he doesn't want. Of course, it's spoilers. But he doesn't want his daughter to know this. We know this early on in the movie. We see this. He's pretending to be a doctor, and there's like that weird thing where he's like killing somebody and she's sneaking out and they're talking. He's like, Shiloh, do I have to come home? She's like, Dad, where are you? My surgery is taking a little bit longer than expected. And you see this guy go, please help. He's like, shut up. Yeah, that was clever. This was clever.
He was the best character. We're like, and as far as because Shiloh she's like, I want to break free, and then she's like, but I can't, but I want to, and that guy's like stealing organs from like dead bodies, and what's going on with that? There's a pageant going on, maybe? Is that the big climax? But then Repo Man is like one of the most morally complex and like dramatic characters out there.
I'm gonna argue, and I'm gonna say that her dad is worse than the CEO guy, the Godfather.
No.
He's worse than Tony Soprano, and by every level. And here's major spoilers: is we find out that her dad's been poisoning her all this time, so she can't leave the house.
A little bit.
Yeah, she doesn't actually go to school. Like, she's just what is happening? And then he's killing people because a rich man told them, like, hey, yeah, they didn't. The contract went up. Now I'm gonna argue that the Tony Soprano guy, he actually is.
You think that the guy in charge and giving the orders is less evil than the guy who's been coerced into following the orders?
Well, you know what? At least he has actually helped some people's lives.
Like who?
The fact that he was able to come up with this company to give you organs. Like, that whole thing is kind of like, yeah, like, it sucks, it's backhanded. But whose life did Repo Man save? No, there's literally piles of bodies because of Repo Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you see him in the beginning, like killing this woman. she's running. She's like, I just needed to survive. I'm in debt. He's like, sucks. Good.
That is what happened.
Yeah.
But he's been forced into doing it. He's been gaslit into doing it.
Yes.
He's had his life ruined, and he has no other choice. Otherwise, he'll be next on the list. Him and his daughter.
But the fact that he like is poisoning his daughter her whole life and lying to her about everything that he does, and he's killing all these parents, like he's doing what happened to her mom, to all these other families.
That's the tragedy. You know, he's not a good guy. He's a tragic figure.
Yes, I'm just saying that the other guy at least has helped people to an extent, like
to the extent of tricking them and then like upping the price, like every car dealership. I mean, basically, repo is what if instead of your car, it was your kidney? That's the whole thing. And they're like,
I don't really need my kidney.
you do. You need it.
Well, I feel like
I'm going to
Cody,
go.
if you needed a kidney, I would give you my kidney. This is where you say, Brie, I would give you a kidney too if you needed it.
I would give you my kidney if you needed it too.
All right, guys, it's done. Come out. He already said it as a verbal contract.
I'm gonna have surgery.
No.
Also, yeah, in this world, they take a drug to like numb you for surgeries, which Paris Hilton's character is like addicted to. She's addicted to the knife.
Addicted to the knife.
Very similar to what Crimes of the Future says, which is just, oh yeah, I guess humans just stop feeling pain at a certain point.
So this is the new sex.
Yeah, which I'm like, that's kind of a stretch there. I don't know. In my personal opinion, I don't know if that would happen. I don't know if we would just be like, yeah, we don't feel pain or get infected anymore. But they also take a drug for it.
Well, I mean, back in the day, we'd be like, yeah, we take a pill to get rid of these headaches. People would be like, yeah, right. So, like, who knows? That could happen. We could have all passed pain.
No, that's like one of the, like, plants feel pain. And they can't, and here's the
Don't tell
thing.
me that.
Plants feel pain and they can't even do anything about it. Because it's like, you know, you feel pain and you're like, that's danger, that's bad. A plant feels pain, is like, what do they get to do?
You know what real pain is? Is like when you step on a dog or cat, you can't like say sorry to them.
Yeah, I saw a study that said animals are capable of understanding that you didn't mean to do it and they'll forgive you. But how did they figure that out?
They just said that's so we can sleep at night.
Because that is like, they're too stupid to understand what it is.
Okay, that was mean.
They are.
I think they know when they accidentally do something. My mom had this cat, and it was so stupid, but it was so cute. His name was Yeti. He had like these big eyes that are all cross-eyed. I'm like, yeah, I think he just had really bad depth perception, and he would consistently run into the wall, like hard. And so I don't know which came first. Was he born stupid, or was it from all the concussions from hitting the wall? But I don't know. I think there was like some studies done that dogs that are trained, like golden retrievers and poodles, they can have like the same IQ as a 3-year-old child.
Yeah, parrots can be as smart as a 5-year-old, which is kind of where it's like anything beyond this is sort of just a bonus, you know. Once you hit 5, I mean, I'm still like, yeah. When I was 5, I kind of already knew a lot of what I still know now. And it's not that I didn't grow and mature. It's that you peak at 5.
You peak at. I had one of my friends tell me the other day. He's like, "Why do we allow chimpanzees to still exist?" And I was like, "What do you? They don't cause any issues. Like they're too smart, man. They're gonna take over." And I was like, "Have you ever seen a chimpanzee?
They wouldn't take over.
They throw their poop. There's no way."
Yeah, they're just.
What are they? A politician?
Hey, all right. And the politicians
yeah.
in this world are organ stealers. Because who gets the best organs? Who are the organs going back to? The people at the top.
Well, but he is dying of cancer. Mm-hmm. So even then, it's like they all just have this.
And that's always such an interesting thing, is throughout any media, if they're like, well, what's an incurable disease? And they're like, cancer. And it's like, dang, still? It is just like... And because, like, even like, you watch, like, sci-fi stories, and it's still like, oh, yeah, they got cancer. Like, well, yeah, we still don't have anything.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
that's a big industry, too. But, yeah, But for a really sad and dark and gruesome movie, it's hilarious and fun and vibrant and lively, and the blood almost acts like an accent decoration thing for the movie. It's very centric around red. Red is such a prevalent color. It's one of the only colors that we see like Shiloh wear and stuff. She's like all black. Shaved her head. She pulled it. Man, how did Hilton feel being compared to Britney Spears so much, and then she's watching this movie with this chick who shaves her head, and she's like,
I almost forgot why she even had a head shaved.
who? Britney or
Shiloh.
Shiloh? Yeah, why did she?
She was sick.
She actually wasn't though. So her dad's also shaving her head.
I know.
And putting a fucking a wig on her.
No, I think the poison caused balding.
So her father did that to her too. Yeah, he's the worst character. I'm gonna say I would rather have dinner with Tony Soprano than Repo
Which
Man.
is not his name.
No, but it's his name. That's the character he's playing. They knew what they were doing. They showed this guy The Godfather, and they showed him The Sopranos, and they said, act like that, but sing also. And he's the only one who has like the Italian feel out of everybody. There's the brothers. There's this smart one, but he's like not that smart, and he's just like really angry all the time. And then there's the handsome one who covers his face all the time. That's interesting. Every like thing that they have is backhanded.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I have this, and then clearly they don't. Right?
And that's see, and like watching this, and why I thought BioShock, they came out so close together. I don't think you can say one influenced the other, because it's like movies take so long to make.
Well, there could be like both. They probably commingled at some point. There's probably people who have like their names on both projects.
Maybe. I mean, it's because it's video games and a movie.
Yeah.
But maybe it's like art directors and stuff, because BioShock is like people find, they discover this like basically programmable stem cells that like, oh, this slug produces stem cells at like a huge rate to where we can just like start like messing with it. And it's like, oh yeah, you inject this, it has encoded youth, it has encoded like your skin is gonna like never age as long as you have plenty of those stem cells in you. But the second they wear off, your body's gonna like suffer the withdrawals from it. So everyone starts getting it, like people just inject themselves. Tangled?
Yeah. The mom, when she stops having like her hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's, she ages.
Yeah, and the immortal inertia.
That sucks, man.
Yeah. Especially like in this one, they inject themselves with blue liquid, and in BioShock, it's actually a blue and red liquid depending on which kind you're using specifically. But yeah, it's like you inject yourselves with this like red stuff, and it'll be like, oh, what was encoded into those stem cells? Strength, youth, fire, power. It kind of doesn't really make sense.
Batman.
Yeah.
Robert Pat. Yeah, man.
The grave robber, who's is his thing. He robs decayed bodies to like try to get like a good organ, because that's a very bad plan.
I think that because everybody's organs are failing as is, it's like, man, this might buy you an extra couple days.
And this is like this is kind of what cyberpunk stories are. Because in cyberpunk stories, it's, like, oh, you had this. They never really explain why, but in the stories, like people's like bodies are falling apart, so they'll get like like a lot of people, like in the cyberpunk game, which was bad game, amazing story, but you'll see a lot of people have cybernetic joints because their joints went bad, so they have those replaced, and then like, oh yeah, you could just get like a thing over your skin, and it'll just like, instead of like, it just full on replaced your skin with metal, so it'll never age. And people start getting like really bad with it, and they have to take this drug because their body starts disassociating too much.
It doesn't rust.
You have to like maintain it still, but also not every metal rusts.
All right. Well, it's Minecraft. Well, I don't care.
But something that my headcanon in the cyberpunk game is, in the beginning you find out that years ago someone set off a nuclear bomb. And so I'm like, oh, so all the radiation must have caused all these birth defects. They never say that. I looked it up. That's not the reason. But it's just like, that's such an easy answer. So it's like, if people are in this world, it's like, yeah, your organs are going to fail constantly. So everyone just gets like it's all set up to be like replaced with machine parts, and we have machine organs and all that. And there's this gang that just kidnaps people and is like, oh yeah, they have like a cyber heart. Those are like really valuable, and they'll just take out they'll basically do this, but it's robot stuff.
So I'm gonna change the pace of this a little bit, and I'm curious on if, not that I'm a fan of these people, but if the Kardashians have played this game. And my reason being is I feel like Kim Kardashian would probably like it. She just came out with a statement recently talking about how if she would do anything to look young. She's like, I would just want to look, if I can eat poop every day and be told I will look young.
Well, that's what the elites do. That's why.
Yeah, so she said that in the interview. I'm like, dude, shut up. You look fine for 50.
She's also had surgeries.
Yeah, look at her. Every inch of her is not real. I mean, she looks fine, but I'm like, yeah, I hope I look close to how you look at whatever you're 67 or something.
But also imagine a life without like
smiling
work or like
work. Yeah. Learning how to cut a cucumber.
Just completely. Yeah. To answer your question, I don't think Kim Kardashian would like or would ever play Cyberpunk 2077.
Well, she's dating Pete, whatever his name is. So
Buttigieg.
Skeet. She's dating Skeet. That's what Kanye calls him.
All right. Well, this isn't going to become a Kardashian. I know. You try to squeeze that in there. This will not be a Kardashian podcast.
Cody, why are you trying to act like you don't consistently watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians? This is a thing that we always go through. You said, I like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I like Jersey Shore. Those are your favorite shows.
I watched the Jersey Shore once, and I was like, this isn't even funny. This is just sad. I was told I was like Vinny. I didn't say I like Vinny. Key distinction. All right, let's go through every single song.
No.
All right, Addicted to the Knife.
Addicted to the Knife.
Grave Robber.
Sometimes I wonder why I even bother.
You know what? The story does get interesting with the CEO, because he's like, yeah, my children are scum. Now, the thing is, okay, well, you raised them. And you...
Alone.
Yeah. Oh,
Right? Didn't he like killed his wife or something? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
But he's like, well, the girl I used to like, who I had killed...
Yeah.
She had a daughter that kind of looks like her, so I want to give all my fortune to her and not my kids. And we're going to have an audition to who's going to get my fortune with a big song and dance number. And that's the plot of this. And he's like, I want you to win. You're going to win, Shadow. And then secrets are abound. Oh my God, Papa.
And then, like... Yeah, that was wild. And she's like, you're the Repo Man? I like how there's that scene, and it's actually, like, really well done, too. She's like, Dad, there's this evil guy, and his name is Repo Man. He's just going out and killing people, and he needs to be stopped. Dad, why don't you go stop him? Which also, your dad, you think, is a doctor. You think he's going to be able...
Why don't you go fight the Repo Man?
Dad, yeah.
Papa.
There's this huge systematic issue. Can you just go rip it to pieces right now for me? Because it makes me uncomfortable. By the way, I've lived in a room my whole life, and I don't know anything about the outside world or injustices.
It brings to mind possibly the greatest introduction to a video game from Doom, and it's a character talking, and your character is was a Marine who got like stuck in like hell, and is like fighting and went like kind of insane fighting demons, as we all have. The story opens with a character describing the demons, and they're like, they are rage, brutal and without mercy, but you will be worse.
Aww.
Rip and tear until it is done, and you're just like, yeah. And that's what the doctor should have done. He should have gone Doom.
Instead he goes, you don't get it. Every character just says, oh, you just don't get it. That's what they're saying to each other the whole time.
Which is realistic,
I mean, you just don't get it. You
keep your copacetic and you learn to accept that you don't. You're so
that could have been in the movie, and I would have not.
That would have fit perfectly fine.
Would not have been confused.
If Shadow sang that, yeah.
I mean, when Joan Jett comes out, I was like, what is happening? Am I high?
It is. You get like lights just start playing. It's like
Did Cody drug me?
this is her. This is her moment of independence, and Joan Jett's like, yeah, I'll do it. Which is, I would like to see that. She's like, what are you guys doing? Yeah.
Can you just do your thing, Joan Jett, and this girl's gonna be rebelling against what? Her dad, who's poisoning her, and she doesn't know. Also, like the world and and capitalism's bad right now,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, for sure, that's right up my alley. Being
People owe organs.
yeah, so
What did at the end I don't know, she doesn't take ownership of it.
yeah, and what's his face dies on stage in front of everybody.
After what was I was because it was like, oh, he's like the greatest killer they have. They made him into a weapon, and now he's rebelling. One of my favorite plot things to happen, because then it's like, oh no, who's gonna stand a chance against him? And you get a very satisfying scene with him killing all the people that are like part of this system now, and then and what I like too is the reason he loses is because he was too concerned with his daughter.
Oh, and he dies on stage too, and you see him die like with his daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and the other guy dies, and his kids are fighting or something.
Yeah,
It's
he
like-
just dies.
And he even has his complicated motives too. He's like, I was in love with your mother. I'm really hurt because your mom did me dirty, which she did.
They were
Together.
fiance.
Yeah,
They
they
were
were together. And
engaged.
she was like, I like this guy more. Which, yeah, that sucks, dude. And he's like, and my kids suck and I don't like them. And you have this kid that's gorgeous. She looks like my ex-wife or fiance, whatever. And she's like a good person. And now you're going to she's going to comfort you while I die. This is stupid. Like, I would be jealous too.
So yeah, comment below if you're team CEO or team doctor here.
Who do you think is hotter?
The doctor.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No contest. He has glasses.
He's the hottest guy in that whole movie.
Yeah.
I don't think he's hotter than
Grave robber?
Amber Sweet.
Oh.
Oh, no, you're talking about the actual grave robber guy? No, I think it's definitely still the dad.
Yeah.
He takes charge. You know that he's like kind of a piece of crap. I'm like, oh.
You're all for that. Yeah.
My track record will tell you. It's water. Oh, this is vodka. Yeah,
I think we're done.
I'm good. I'm clocking out. All right, so thank you for listening. You can follow me on Instagram at wearpinkonweds. And you can follow Cody at Cody Decker because he's so creative and different.
Which 2 people did.
2 people followed you?
Here's the cool thing about me not having that many followers. If someone follows me, I'm like, who do I know you from? So I look them up, and I'm like, do I know them from somewhere, or do they actually follow me? They actually followed me.
That's really cute.
I get excited, just so you know. I'm like, yeah. I'm
Aww.
building up. Yeah. Join
Well-
the Discord we have, which the link is always in the description. Go on there. It's mostly me and like 3 people talking, but I see people working around, and every now and then, I know one person will only join in if Dragon Age comes up. So, I'm pretty active on there. Anything to talk about video games.
We miss you, Duncan and Frank. Even though
R.I.P.
I don't really know you guys.
R.I.P.
Yeah, you know me.
I was trying to think of something that they're not dead. They're just very busy. And I, the lone wolf,
I'm right here.
is once again out.
Alone in the world.
Woo!
No. I'm good.